Sunset Boulevard wasn't just Billy Wilder's masterpiece about Hollywood's dark side. It was the film Montgomery Clift abandoned 2 weeks before shooting because his older lover thought the script mocked her, where Louis B. Mayer screamed at Wilder that he should be tarred and feathered and run out of Hollywood, and where audiences laughed during the original morgue opening until Wilder cut it entirely. While viewers watched Gloria Swanson's tragic descent into madness in 1950, behind the cameras lurked a production where Mae West demanded dialogue rewrites, Mary Pickford almost got insulted before Wilder stopped his pitch mid-sentence, and William Holden earned $39,000, 35% less than the star who quit. Here are 18 dark facts about Sunset Boulevard that reveal what happens when genius exposes industry rot. And stick around for the bonus fact, because what Cecil B. DeMille demanded for reshooting one close-up is pure Hollywood extortion. Let's descend into the pool. Number 18. Clift quit 2 weeks before filming. Montgomery Clift signed for $5,000 weekly for 12 guaranteed weeks. 2 or 3 weeks before shooting began, he withdrew. Clift claimed the role was too similar to The Heiress, 1949, where he'd played a young man involved with an older woman unconvincingly. An infuriated Wilder responded, "If he's any kind of actor, he could be convincing making love to any woman." But the real reason was darker. Clift was having an affair with singer Libby Holman, 15 years his senior. Holman thought Sunset Boulevard pointed the finger squarely at her. Years before, her young husband, tobacco heir Zachary Smith Reynolds, was mysteriously murdered in their Winston-Salem mansion. Holman was implicated. When she read the script, she saw herself as Norma Desmond. Clift bowed out to protect her, leaving Wilder scrambling. 6 different actors turned down the role before William Holden accepted. Number 17. Holden earned $39,000, 35% less than Clift. William Holden was offered and accepted Joe Gillis for $39,000. This was 35% lower than the $60,000 offered to Montgomery Clift. The pay cut reflected Holden's career slump. After his 1939 Golden Boy breakthrough, he'd been stuck in mediocre second banana roles for years. He was 31, half forgotten, and desperate. Half a dozen bigger Hollywood names had turned down the gigolo role. Nobody wanted to play a kept man. Holden nearly balked too, uncomfortable with the character's moral slipperiness. But he needed the work. The reduced salary was Hollywood's way of saying, "You're not a star anymore. You're lucky we're giving you anything." Ironically, Sunset Boulevard resurrected Holden's career. By 1956, he was Hollywood's top box office attraction. He won Best Actor for Stalag 17, 1953, also directed by Wilder. The 35% pay cut became the best career investment he never chose. Number 16. Louis B. Mayer screamed Wilder should be tarred and feathered. After the Hollywood screening, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer head Louis B. Mayer cornered Billy Wilder. Witnesses heard Mayer berate him. "You bastard! You have disgraced the industry that made you and fed you. You should be tarred and feathered and run out of Hollywood." Mayer's rage was genuine. Sunset Boulevard exposed Hollywood's treatment of aging stars, particularly aging female stars, as disposable commodities. Mayer had built Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer by creating star systems that chewed people up and spit them out. Wilder's film revealed that brutality to the world. Mayer saw it as betrayal, airing dirty laundry publicly. Other executives shared his fury but kept quiet. Mayer's public denunciation became immediate validation. If the industry was this angry, Wilder had told the truth. His outrage was a sure sign of the film's future success. Hollywood hated being exposed. That hatred confirmed everything Wilder depicted. Number 15. The morgue opening made audiences laugh. The original edit opened inside a morgue with assembled corpses discussing how they arrived there. Joe Gillis's corpse recounted his murder to other cadavers. Wilder and Charles Brackett, nervous about a major Hollywood screening, held a preview in Evanston, Illinois, in late 1949. The audience reacted with laughter and seemed unsure whether to view the rest as drama or comedy. After similar reactions in Poughkeepsie, New York, and Great Neck, the morgue opening was replaced January 5, 1950 with a shorter poolside opening using newly filmed footage. The morgue sequence was completely cut. What Wilder intended as dark humor read as campy absurdity, audiences couldn't take dead bodies joking seriously. The tone miscalculation nearly ruined the film. The replacement opening, Joe's corpse floating face down in the pool, became iconic. The deleted morgue sequence exists only in memory. Number 14. Mae West wanted to rewrite dialogue. Billy Wilder initially wanted Mae West for Norma Desmond. West was interested but demanded she rewrite all her dialogue. That was an automatic no. Wilder and Brackett had crafted specific dialogue revealing Norma's delusions and vulnerability. West's rewriting would have turned Norma into another Mae West character, wisecracking, sexually aggressive, self-aware, everything Norma Desmond wasn't. West's insistence on rewriting demonstrated the ego that made her a star but also limited her range. She couldn't play vulnerability or madness, only variations of Mae West. Wilder needed an actress who could disappear into Norma, not impose her persona onto the role. West's demand ended negotiations immediately. Wilder moved on to Pola Negri, whose heavy Polish accent made her incomprehensible on the phone. Then Clara Bow, who declined. Then Norma Shearer, who rejected the script. Then Mary Pickford, whom Wilder stopped pitching to mid-sentence. Number 13. Wilder stopped pitching to Mary Pickford mid-sentence. Wilder and Brackett visited Pickfair, Mary Pickford's mansion. Brackett began telling her the story. He was the more serious one, Wilder the joker. Midway through, Wilder waved Brackett off. No, don't do it. He'd realized Pickford would be insulted by a role involving a love affair with a man half her age. They departed without finishing the pitch. Wilder's instinct was correct. Pickford feared the role would mock legendary silent stars like herself. She also insisted on owning her own negatives, as she had with all her films. Wilder left before she could reject them. The aborted pitch became Hollywood legend. Wilder's social intelligence saving everyone embarrassment. Pickford never heard the full story. Wilder never explained why they left. Years later, she likely realized what role she'd avoided. Whether she regretted it remains unknown. Number 12. Pola Negri's Polish accent made her incomprehensible. After Mae West, Wilder contacted Pola Negri by telephone. Negri had been a major silent star, making her perfect for Norma. But her heavy Polish accent made her nearly impossible to understand over the phone. Wilder couldn't comprehend her responses to basic questions. If she was incomprehensible on the phone, she'd be incomprehensible on screen. Sound had ended many silent careers precisely because thick accents didn't translate. Negri was casualty number 1. Wilder ruled her out immediately. The phone call lasted minutes. Negri never knew how close she came to a comeback role. Her accent, the same accent that had charmed silent audiences who couldn't hear it, destroyed her chance at redemption. The cruel irony: a film about silent stars cast aside by sound rejected a silent star because sound revealed her limitations. Wilder moved on to Clara Bow. Number 11. Swanson was insulted by the screen test request. When George Cukor suggested Gloria Swanson, Paramount asked for a screen test. Swanson was offended. She was Gloria Swanson. Didn't the studio know what she could do? She'd been Paramount's biggest star. A screen test felt insulting, implying her abilities were in doubt. Cukor told her to do whatever it took to get the part because he felt Sunset Boulevard would be the role the world would remember her by. Swanson swallowed her pride and agreed. The screen test was immediately clear. She was perfect. There was a lot of Norma in Gloria. The pride, the vanity, the awareness of lost glory. Unlike Norma, Swanson had accepted reality. She'd moved to New York, worked in radio, started a dress design line. She wasn't delusional, but she understood Norma's psychology completely. Number 10. Only 26 pages were ready when filming began. Charles Brackett and Wilder's script was typically vague and incomplete. Only 26 pages existed when production began. Rewriting was ongoing throughout filming. They knew there would be a murder, but not who murdered whom. Originally, Norma was a less sympathetic character. Gloria Swanson herself, a shrewd Hollywood veteran, likely influenced making Norma more tragic and vulnerable. Wilder submitted pages to Paramount a few at a time to avoid studio interference and Breen office censorship. He told Paramount he was adapting a non-existent short story called A Can of Beans so they'd leave him alone. He feared they'd kill the movie if they knew the full story. The ongoing rewrites meant actors performed scenes without knowing the ending. The creative freedom was liberating but terrifying. Let's pause. Hit subscribe, because we're halfway through, and what's next includes Barbara Stanwyck kissing Swanson's hem, Wilder borrowing from his own German film, and the Breen office demanding kissing changes while ignoring everything else. Number 9. Barbara Stanwyck knelt and kissed Swanson's hem. After the Hollywood screening, Barbara Stanwyck knelt and kissed the hem of Gloria Swanson's skirt. The gesture was spontaneous worship. Stanwyck recognizing a performance so magnificent it demanded physical reverence. Other stars surrounded Swanson with praise. Swanson looked for Mary Pickford, only to be told, "She can't show herself, Gloria. She's too overcome." Pickford, who'd refused the role, was reportedly too emotional to face Swanson after seeing what she'd missed. The Hollywood screening became validation. Industry insiders who'd questioned the film's premise saw Swanson resurrect her career through sheer artistry. Stanwyck's kiss symbolized Hollywood acknowledging one of its discarded queens had returned triumphant. Swanson's comeback was real, unlike Norma's fantasy. The irony was perfect, a real silent star achieving what her character couldn't. Number 8. The Breen office demanded kissing changes, ignored everything else. The motion picture production code was enforced by the Breen office. One memo to Samuel Goldwyn specifically addressed kissing. These should not be prolonged or lustful, and there should be no open-mouthed kissing. The code also concerned the bedroom scene with Homer and Wilma. Unmarried young people alone discussing intimacy was rarely allowed. But Goldwyn refused changes. The film was released exactly as Wilder wanted. This explains unusual situations for a Code-era film. Al and Millie share the same bed, typically forbidden, with married couples sleeping separately. The Breen office focused on superficial moral violations, kissing technique, bed sharing, while missing the film's actual transgressions, kept men, murder, madness, Hollywood's cruelty. Their obsession with kisses while ignoring systemic rot demonstrated the code's absurdity. Wilder exploited their blindness perfectly. Number 7. The love theme was Paramount newsreel music slowed down. Composer Franz Waxman created the score with orchestral music from the 1920s and 1930s mixed with upbeat piano themes. But the love theme for Joe and Betty was actually the Paramount newsreel theme slowed down. This wasn't laziness, it was brilliant irony. Paramount's newsreel music represented the studio's official voice, its public face. Slowing it down and transforming it into a love theme revealed the rot beneath corporate optimism. The newsreel theme audiences heard before features, upbeat, reassuring, became melancholic and doomed when repurposed for Joe and Betty's impossible romance. Waxman's choice was subversive. He took Paramount's branding and turned it into tragedy. Most audiences never recognized the borrowed theme. Those who did appreciated the meta-commentary, Paramount's own music scoring a film exposing Paramount's industry. Number 6. The script came from Wilder's 1932 German film. The idea behind the script Joe Gillis and Betty Schaefer collaborate on was based on a script Wilder and Max Kolpe wrote in 1932 for the German film Das Blau vom Himmel. Wilder was recycling his own early work, giving it to his characters as their creative project. The meta-layering was intentional. A screenwriter creating characters who are screenwriters working on material from his actual past. Wilder's Berlin days informed Sunset Boulevard throughout. He'd witnessed the twilight of German silent cinema, seen aging stars become irrelevant overnight when sound arrived. He brought that trauma to Hollywood, recognizing the same patterns. The German film reference anchored Joe and Betty's relationship in Wilder's autobiography. Their collaboration mirrored Wilder's own early screenwriting partnerships. The borrowed script was Wilder inserting himself into his characters' creative lives. Number 5. Erich von Stroheim directed Swanson in Queen Kelly, which appears in the film. When Norma shows Joe her old films, they watch Queen Kelly, an actual Gloria Swanson film directed by Erich von Stroheim, who plays Max, Norma's butler, and ex-husband. Queen Kelly, 1929, was not released in the United States for over 50 years after Swanson walked off the set. Von Stroheim and Swanson had a falling out during that production. Joseph Kennedy, Swanson's lover, convinced her to make the film. It was a box office disaster. Decades later, Wilder reunited them, casting von Stroheim as Norma's devoted servant. The real-life tension enhanced their on-screen dynamic. Von Stroheim, like Swanson, was a silent-era casualty. He'd been one of Hollywood's most famous directors before his perfectionism threw him out of favor with budget-conscious studios. He made 7-hour films and refused to edit to standard length. Sound arrived, and his career collapsed. By 1950, he was an actor playing a has-been director serving a has-been star. Art mirrored life completely. Number 4. Wilder submitted pages a few at a time to avoid censorship. Wilder feared studio interference and Breen office censorship. He submitted only a few script pages at a time to each, never revealing the complete story. This strategic deception kept Paramount and censors ignorant of the film's full scope. Had they known Joe Gillis was a kept man who gets murdered by his delusional older lover, they'd have killed the project immediately. By parceling out pages, Wilder prevented anyone from grasping the whole until filming was too advanced to stop. The tactic was risky. If discovered, Paramount could have shut down production, but Wilder gambled correctly. By the time executives understood what they'd greenlit, too much money was invested to pull out. The page-by-page submission became Wilder's blueprint for working around censorship. He'd used similar tactics on Double Indemnity. Sunset Boulevard perfected the strategy. Number 3. The The film was nominated for 11 Oscars, including all 4 acting categories. Sunset Boulevard received 11 Academy Award nominations: Best Picture, Director, Wilder, Actor, Holden, Actress, Swanson, Supporting Actor von Stroheim, Supporting Actress, Olsen, Story and Screenplay, Cinematography, Art Direction, Editing, and Score. It's one of few films nominated in all 4 acting categories. The film won 3 Oscars: Story and Screenplay, Score, Franz Waxman, and Art Direction. Swanson lost Best Actress to Judy Holliday for Born Yesterday. Common Knowledge said Swanson and Bette Davis, nominated for All About Eve, split the vote, letting Holliday win by default. The men who ruled Hollywood and voted for Oscars didn't want to encourage 2 flamboyant middle-aged women with lively sexual appetites and younger lovers. They preferred dim, but wise, arm candy. Holliday was fantastic, but the vote was political. Swanson deserved to win. 40 years later, Wilder watched it with a New Yorker reporter and admitted it was pretty good after all. Number 2. Swanson was only 50, but made to look much older. Gloria Swanson was only 50 years old when filming began. She was made to appear much older in the film through makeup, lighting, and costume. Norma Desmond was meant to be an ancient relic from cinema's primitive past. Swanson in 1950 was actually younger than many working Hollywood stars, but Wilder needed audiences to see her as a ghost from a dead era. Edith Head designed costumes that were over-the-top 1950s new look, informed by glittering 1920s details, clothing a wealthy woman clinging to her glory days would wear. Head had worked at Paramount during Swanson's actual glory days. As an underling, she'd been given roses to toss in admiration as Swanson arrived in a leopard-upholstered touring car at the studio. Swanson collaborated closely with Head because she'd lived the extravagant life Norma reflected. The aging makeup and costumes transformed a vital 50-year-old into a withered monument to lost youth. Number 1. The film broke records in major cities but failed in the sticks. Variety noted that while Sunset Boulevard was breaking records in major cities, it is doing below average in the sticks. To promote the film, Gloria Swanson traveled by train throughout the United States, visiting 33 cities in a few months. The publicity helped attract people to cinemas, but in many areas away from major cities, it was considered less than a hit. The film earned an estimated $2,350,000 at the United States box office in 1950. Urban sophisticates appreciated Wilder's dark Hollywood satire. Rural audiences found it depressing and confusing. They wanted entertainment, not industry exposés. The split reception demonstrated Hollywood's cultural divide: coastal elites versus middle America. Sunset Boulevard was too cynical, too bitter, too insider for general audiences. It became a critical masterpiece and commercial disappointment, exactly the fate Norma Desmond feared for her comeback. The film about Hollywood failure nearly became a Hollywood failure. Only time and critical reevaluation saved it. Bonus fact: DeMille demanded $10,000 plus a new car for one close-up reshoot. Cecil B. DeMille demanded $10,000 for his scene in Sunset Boulevard. When Wilder needed to retake a close-up, DeMille only agreed if Paramount bought him a new car and paid him another $3,300. After DeMille finished his scene, Wilder reportedly said, "Very good, my boy. Leave your name with my secretary. I may have a small part for you in my next picture." The mock condescension was Wilder's revenge for DeMille's extortion. DeMille was playing himself, directing on his favorite soundstage, Stage 18, later home to Star Trek. The movie within a movie was Samson and Delilah, which DeMille had just completed. Wilder needed DeMille's participation for authenticity. Who better to represent Hollywood royalty? But DeMille exploited that need ruthlessly. The $10,000 plus car plus $3,300 for one close-up reshoot was pure Hollywood greed. Wilder paid because he had no choice, then mocked DeMille publicly. The exchange exemplified everything Sunset Boulevard exposed: power, exploitation, vanity. DeMille extorting Wilder for screen time was pure Norma Desmond behavior. Aging royalty demanding tribute from those who needed them. Sunset Boulevard premiered August 10, 1950, as Billy Wilder's bitter Valentine to Hollywood. Montgomery Clift quit to protect his older lover. 6 actors refused the gigolo role before Holden accepted for 35% less money. Mae West demanded rewrites. Pola Negri's accent was incomprehensible. Mary Pickford almost got insulted mid-pitch. Louis B. Mayer screamed Wilder should be tarred and feathered. The morgue opening made audiences laugh. Barbara Stanwyck kissed Gloria Swanson's hem. The film received 11 Oscar nominations, won 3, and split audiences, breaking records in cities while failing in rural areas. Gloria Swanson, age 50, was made to look ancient, playing a role she was initially insulted to screen test for. Erich von Stroheim played a failed director serving a failed star while screening his own failed film. Cecil B. DeMille extorted $13,300 plus a new car for his cameo. And through all the chaos, betrayals, and Hollywood brutality, Wilder created cinema's definitive statement on the dark side of fame. The film that Louis B. Mayer wanted destroyed became one of the first selected for the National Film Registry in 1989. The performance Swanson was insulted to test for became her most celebrated role. The script submitted in pieces to avoid censorship became an Oscar-winning screenplay. 74 years later, Sunset Boulevard endures not despite its darkness but because of it. Every frame exposes Hollywood's treatment of aging stars, creative disposability, and the industry's casual cruelty. Norma Desmond's madness isn't mental illness, it's the logical conclusion of Hollywood success, followed by Hollywood rejection. If you survived this descent into Hollywood's pool, hit that like and subscribe, because cinema history is built on exposing the rot beneath glamour. Drop a comment telling me if you think Swanson should have won the Oscar over Judy Holliday. And remember, the pictures didn't get small. We just stopped making them this honest. I'm ready for my close-up, and so is the truth.